Night envelops a city street, its lights blurring into hazy halos around a solitary figure. Aarav, 36, walks with weary steps, his silhouette framed by the urban glow. Lost in thought, he mutters to himself, a promise hanging in the night air. "I'll do it tomorrow." The city's pulse fades into the background as Aarav continues his journey home, a lone figure. Aarav's apartment. Neat, sterile, and echoing with silence. He pours water, the sound amplified in the emptiness. Aarav stares out at the vast, indifferent city sprawling beneath. His reflection, a ghost in the glass, lost in thought. The city lights blur, mirroring the turmoil within him. In the dim light of his office, Aarav sits at his desk, the glow of the computer screen illuminating his face. He takes a sip of coffee, his eyes focused on the message from his manager about the risk analysis. The weight of responsibility settles on Aarav's face as he considers the task ahead. Aarav leans back in his chair, a contemplative expression on his face as he ponders the risk analysis. Determination hardens his gaze as he commits to the task, the weight of the project heavy on his shoulders. "I'll finish it tonight," Aarav vows, his voice a low murmur against the backdrop of the silent office. Aarav sits at the imposing conference table, a stark contrast to the polished wood and stern faces around him. His gaze drifts towards the window, lost in thought, seemingly detached from the surroundings. On his computer screen, emails pile up, each one a blinking reminder of tasks left undone. He appears out of place amidst the corporate formality, his mind elsewhere. The weight of unspoken expectations hangs heavily in the air around Aarav. In the dim light of his office, Aarav hits save, the click echoing in the silence. His eyes burn, weary from the screen's relentless glare. With a heavy sigh, he shuts down his computer, the screen fading to black. Aarav leans back, exhaustion etched on his face in the dim light. "I'll do it tomorrow morning." Fresh mind, Aarav mutters, a promise to himself. He rises, the office lights casting long shadows as he leaves for the night. A clock face spins wildly, its numbers absent, hands blurring in a dizzying dance. The clock's hands scrape violently, etching deep cracks into the glass. Aarav's eyes snap open, wide with sudden terror, pulled from the depths of a nightmare. He bolts upright in bed, heart pounding, the remnants of the dream clinging to him. The room is silent now, but the echo of the cracking glass lingers in the air. Aarav and his neighbor share a silent elevator ride, the quiet hum creating a moment of stillness. The elevator ascends, a metal box of contained lives moving through the building's core. The hum vibrates, a low, constant drone that fills the small space around them. Suddenly, a violent jerk throws them off balance, shattering the calm. The elevator grinds to a complete halt, leaving Aarav and his neighbor suspended in silence and uncertainty. Inside the cramped elevator, fluorescent lights flicker, casting eerie, dancing shadows. The air is heavy, still, pregnant with unspoken tension. Aarav's voice breaks the silence, laced with concern. "Haircut?" His neighbor's response is casual, but not reassuring. "Temporary." The neighbor offers a weak smile. "It always restarts." The lights flicker more violently, threatening complete darkness. Inside the cramped elevator, Aarav stands beside his elderly neighbor, the silence punctuated by faint music. Aarav glances at his neighbor, noticing the kindness in the older man's eyes as they ascend. The neighbor turns to Aarav, a gentle smile gracing his lips as he speaks with thoughtful intent. "Do you know why people regret things? Because they delay good ones," the neighbor says, his words hanging in the air. The elevator doors part with a gentle whoosh, revealing a silent hallway bathed in dim light. A quiet hum emanates from the elevator, its metallic shell gleaming softly. Stillness hangs heavy in the air, broken only by the mechanical whisper of the waiting elevator. An unspoken tension fills the confined space, a sense of anticipation lingering. A neighbor's voice pierces the silence, a cryptic warning hanging in the air. "Be careful with tomorrow. It's not guaranteed, they add, their words echoing in the stark, empty hallway. Aarav sits at his desk, bathed in the soft, cool light of his computer screen, a picture of calm amidst the coming storm. A notification flashes on his phone, a digital harbinger of fate. Test results available. The words hang in the air, a silent, looming presence that shatters the tranquility. His breath hitches, an involuntary response to the dread that tightens around his chest. His face pales, anticipation and fear mixing in his eyes as he reaches for his phone, a pivotal moment. In his office, Aarav's eyes are glued to his phone, an ominous notification casting a shadow over his face. Aarav stares, his face paling as cold dread washes over him. He tries to shrug off the feeling, forcing a dismissive tone. "I'll check it after the presentation." His forced smile falters as he convinces himself, no point stressing now. But the seed of anxiety has been planted, his gaze drifting back to the phone. In his office, the shrill ring of the phone shatters the silence. Aarav answers, forcing a smile. The manager's voice cuts through the line. "Where's the final analysis?" Aarav's smile tightens, a hint of desperation in his eyes. "I'm just refining it. I'll send it soon." His forced calm masks the turmoil beneath as he clutches the phone, the weight of expectation heavy. In his dimly lit office, Aarav battles the digital tide, his brow furrowed in concentration as lines of code blur across the monitor. Sweat beads on Aarav's forehead as he fights to bring order to the chaos of data, his focus unwavering. Overlooked anomalies scream for attention, mocking Aarav's efforts to tame the relentless stream of information. The weight of the digital world presses down on Aarav, each line of code a challenge to his resolve. Aarav's eyes dart across the screen, searching for the key to unlock the secrets hidden within the data's depths. Frustration mounts as Aarav confronts the endless stream, the digital tide threatening to overwhelm him. In his office, Aarav's phone buzzes, the screen flashing "Father," a stark intrusion into the quiet. A shadow flickers across Aarav's face, unreadable, as he regards the device. A silent battle waged within. The phone's bright light accentuates the tension in his jaw, a rigid mask concealing deeper emotions. Their relationship, once a sturdy bridge, is now a fragile, strained thread of neglect and unspoken words. Aarav's office, a space of tense anticipation. Aarav's eyes glued to his phone. An incoming call flashes, a silent demand for connection. His fingers tremble above the screen, a battle waged in hesitation. With a decisive shake of his head, Aarav rejects the call, sealing his choice. "I'll call him after this," Aarav mutters, a promise hanging in the air. The phone screen fades, leaving Aarav alone with his thoughts and deferred decisions. The computer screen casts an eerie glow on Aarav's face, highlighting his intense focus. An email notification flashes. "Client is here. We're starting." His eyes widen slightly, betraying a flicker of unease. Aarav's breath hitches as a wave of dread washes over him. Aarav's stomach drops. Aarav hits send on the incomplete file, a silent act with heavy consequences. The fluorescent lights hum, casting a sterile glow over the tense conference room. The meeting begins, but the air is thick with unspoken anxieties. Tension fills the room, a palpable weight pressing down on everyone present. The glass-walled conference room glows under sterile light, the air heavy with unspoken tension. The door clicks shut, sealing my fate as grim faces watch from around the mahogany table. Loss and responsibility become barbs, each word finding its mark with painful precision. The weight of the meeting crushes, as disappointment etches deep lines on every face. Under humming fluorescent lights, a polished table bears the scars of a tense meeting, papers strewn like fallen soldiers. Aarav sits, his shoulders slumped, a silent testament to the weight of responsibility and unspoken accusations. Manager's voice cuts through the silence. sharp and unforgiving. "You had time. Why didn't you flag the issue earlier?" Aarav's silence hangs heavy in the air, an unspoken admission of guilt or a shield against further condemnation. He avoids eye contact, the fluorescent lights reflecting off the polished table, mirroring the cold scrutiny he faces. Aarav walks alone, the city's relentless noise pressing in around him. The city pulses with an unnatural energy, every sound amplified in the night. Traffic lights glare down, their insistent rhythm heightening the sense of unease. Each step echoes on the pavement, a solitary beat against the city's cacophony. The shadows lengthen, twisting familiar streets into a maze of unknown threats. Erratic flickering in the hallway. Shadows dance, mimicking the unsettling elevator incident. Darkness stretches and recedes with each pulse of light, creating unease. The hallway seems to breathe, shadows writhing against the walls. Each flicker heightens the sense of dread, amplifying the hallway's eerie silence, unsettling rhythm of light and shadow. The air hangs heavy with unspoken fear. The hallway transforms into a stage for unseen terrors as the lights continue their chaotic dance. In the dim light of his apartment, Aarav hunches over his laptop, a deep worry creasing his face. A phone buzzes insistently on the cluttered table, breaking the silence, a stark reminder of pending anxiety. His gaze flickers to the phone, then back to the screen, a silent battle raging within him. His hands tremble slightly as he reaches for the device, the weight of the unknown heavy in the air. "Reminder, please review your test results," a voice whispers, amplifying the palpable tension. Aarav's apartment is quiet, a stark contrast to the turmoil within him. With a deliberate motion, Aarav gently places the phone face down on the table. The simple act speaks volumes of his emotional exhaustion and need for respite. His voice, heavy with fatigue, breaks the silence. "I can't deal with this today. Tomorrow." Aarav lies awake, his eyes wide in the dark, the city's faint glow painting the room in shades of gray. Restless, Aarav tosses and turns in his bed, seeking a solace that remains just out of reach. The silence of the night amplifies his unease, each shadow a whisper of unspoken fears. His mind races, unable to find peace as thoughts swirl like storm clouds overhead. Trapped in the labyrinth of his own mind, Aarav battles the demons that haunt his sleepless night. Dim city light paints Aarav's room as he lies in bed, covers pulled high, a silhouette against the urban dawn. His phone flares to life, the bright screen cutting through the darkness, revealing Aarav's weary eyes. "Unknown number," the narration whispers, a prelude to the unfolding mystery. Aarav answers with heavy reluctance. Reluctantly. "Hello?" Dim light fills Aarav's apartment, casting long, eerie shadows that dance ominously across the walls. The sudden, shrill ring of a phone shatters the heavy silence, cutting through the stillness of the room. A woman's voice echoes from the receiver, a harbinger of devastating news. "Is this Aarav Mehta?" "I'm calling from City General Hospital," the voice says, laced with professional detachment. The words hang in the air, heavy with dread. "Your father has been admitted. Cardiac arrest." Silence blankets Aarav's apartment, the city's hum, a distant echo. The air is thick with unspoken grief, heavy with dread. Aarav's voice breaks the quiet. "When?" The woman's reply hangs in the air. "An hour ago." An hour a lifetime, compressed into a single, devastating moment. The weight of the revelation crushes the remaining air from the room. Aarav sits heavily on the edge of his bed, the weight of unspoken words pressing down on him. His fingers loosen, betraying the sudden loss of resolve. The phone slips from his grasp, a silent fall onto the soft comforter. A missed connection hangs in the air, heavy with unspoken emotions. The unmade call to his father looms, a promise delayed, a conversation postponed, tomorrow's plan now uncertain. The weight of the decision settles upon him. The hospital corridor is cold, the air thick with disinfectant and unspoken dread. Outside the ICU, Aarav sits alone, hunched and still on a metal chair. Dawn breaks, casting long shadows that deepen the sense of isolation and fear. Every breath echoes in the sterile silence, each moment stretching into an eternity of worry. In the sterile hospital corridor, Aarav walks with heavy steps, his face a canvas of deep regret. Every delayed call, every ignored message replays in his mind, each a painful echo in the silent corridor. The fluorescent lights cast long, stark shadows, mirroring the despair that clings to him like a shroud. Aarav's chest tightens with each step, the weight of unspoken words pressing down on him. The air is thick with unspoken grief, each breath a reminder of what could have been. He is alone with his regret, the sterile environment amplifying his sense of isolation and loss. In the stark hospital corridor, a doctor strides purposefully, their white coat a beacon against the sterile backdrop. Fluorescent lights hum, casting long, somber shadows that stretch and distort with each hurried step. The doctor's expression is grim, a harbinger of the difficult news they bear. We stabilized him, but there were complications. If you had brought him in earlier, the doctor says, their tone laced with regret. In a sterile hospital corridor, Aarav nervously fumbles with his phone, his anxiety palpable. His finger slips, a digital misstep with unforeseen consequences. The hospital app bursts to life, illuminating his face with its stark display. His test results flash on the screen, each number a potential turning point. The cold, clinical data hangs in the air, heavy with unspoken possibilities. The sterile hum of fluorescent lights fills the cold hospital corridor. A digital timestamp flashes. Results available 2 days ago. A stark reminder of missed time. Aarav stands frozen, the weight of the revelation crashing over him. His eyes widen, disbelief etched deeply into his face. The fluorescent lights reflect in Aarav's wide, stunned eyes. In the sterile hospital corridor, the woman pauses, a file clutched tightly in her hands. Fluorescent lights hum, casting a clinical glow on the linoleum floor. The woman's face is partially obscured by shadow, hinting at hidden depths. Aarav's voice echoes in the hallway, breaking the silence. "You work here?" She turns, her expression unreadable as she meets Aarav's gaze. The file in her hands seems to hold secrets within the fluorescent-lit corridor. In the brightly lit corridor, sterile air hums with the quiet pulse of life-sustaining machines. Footsteps echo softly on the polished floor, a constant rhythm in this place of hope and despair. A counselor stands, her expression a mix of empathy and weary understanding. Her voice, gentle yet firm, cuts through the sterile silence. "I'm a counselor. I sit with people who wait too long," she says, her words hanging in the air. In the sterile hospital corridor, she studies his face, her eyes reflecting both worry and an unyielding resolve. The cold, clinical backdrop blurs as she prepares to deliver her weighty message. "You think tomorrow is time?" she begins, her voice steady despite the gravity of the moment. "But it's a decision," she insists, her gaze intensifying, urging him to understand. "Every time you delay, you choose something else. Comfort, fear, distraction," she concludes, her words hanging in the air. Aarav stands alone in the sterile hospital corridor, the harsh fluorescent lights accentuating the worry etched on his face. He runs a trembling hand through his hair, a nervous tick betraying the storm of anxiety within him. His voice, laced with desperation, cuts through the sterile silence. "Is it too late?" A beat of silence hangs in the air, heavy with unspoken fears and uncertainties. A mysterious voice responds, echoing through the hallway, offering a glimmer of hope amidst despair. For some things, yes. For others, not yet, she says, her words hanging the balance between fate and chance. The room is cloaked in shadow, save for the ethereal glow of life support machines surrounding the hospital bed. Aarav sits vigil, the rhythmic beep, a stark soundtrack to his father's fragile existence. Each beep from the machines echoes in the dim silence, a constant reminder of his father's precarious hold. The soft glow from the machines illuminates Aarav's face, etched with worry and exhaustion. He watches his father, the rise and fall of his chest barely perceptible in the low light. The room feels suspended in time, a silent tableau of hope and uncertainty. In the sterile hospital room, Aarav sits on the bed's edge, a figure of quiet sorrow amidst the clinical white. Pale and drawn, he is a stark contrast to the crisp white sheets beneath him. Sunlight struggles to penetrate the blinds, casting the room in long, somber shadows. His voice barely a whisper. Aarav breaks the silence with a heavy heart. "I am so sorry for the conversations postponed, visits cancelled," he says, regret etched in his voice. The antiseptic scent stings as the machines beep, their rhythm a cold metronome in the sterile hospital room. A son sits vigil, regret carving deep lines into his face as he watches over the still figure in the bed. His voice cracks, a whisper lost in the room's silence. "I thought there was time." A faint, fragile stirring his father's fingers twitch, a flicker of life against the stark white sheets. Dawn breaks, painting the sky with hues of hope outside the hospital room. The soft morning light filters through the window, casting long shadows. A new day begins, full of promise and uncertainty. The world outside awakens as life stirs within the hospital walls. The arrival of dawn signals a fresh start, a chance for healing. Weeks later, Aarav's apartment breathes with a newfound warmth, a space now genuinely lived in and inviting. Sunlight streams through the window, illuminating dust motes dancing in the air, casting a cozy glow. Books are scattered casually on the coffee table, hinting at hours spent lost in stories and ideas. A half-finished painting leans against the wall, a testament to Aarav's creative spirit taking root. The aroma of freshly brewed coffee fills the air, mingling with the subtle scent of incense. The apartment now exudes a sense of comfortable chaos, a reflection of a life fully embraced. Aarav's office is bathed in sunlight. He's deep in a phone call, a pen hovering over a notepad. Aarav listens intently, his gaze fixed on a point beyond the window. The city hums outside. His brow furrows as the conversation deepens, a hint of concern etching into his face. Aarav's pen moves rapidly across the paper, capturing key details from the call. He interjects with sharp, pointed questions, seeking clarity amidst the unfolding situation. Aarav's expression hardens, a sense of urgency creeping into his demeanor. Aarav's face is illuminated by the glow of the computer screen, his brow furrowed with determination in the quiet office. His fingers fly across the keyboard, a flurry of motion fueled by resolve. The rhythmic tapping fills the silence, a testament to his tireless efforts. The weight of responsibility is etched on his face, a burden he carries with unwavering commitment. Yet, a glimmer of resolve shines in his eyes, a spark of hope amidst the pressure. He is working tirelessly, dedicated to rebuilding trust and proving himself. Aarav strides down a vibrant city street, a sea of faces blurring around him. His phone is pressed to his ear, yet his gaze remains fixed on the passing crowd. Aarav observes the city's inhabitants, his focus elsewhere as he navigates the bustling scene. Narration. Aarav calls people when he thinks of them, not when it's convenient. Amidst the urban symphony, Aarav's attention drifts, lost in the stories of strangers. Sunlight floods Aarav's apartment, illuminating dust motes dancing in the air. Aarav sits on the edge of his unmade bed, a picture of quiet desperation. Unopened bills form a looming pile on the desk, a stark reminder of responsibilities. The old habit returns, a familiar shadow creeping into Aarav's eyes. "I'll do it tomorrow," the thought whispers, a promise of procrastination hanging heavy in the air. Inside Aarav's apartment, the phone rings, cutting through the silence. Aarav answers immediately, his expression unreadable as he lifts the phone to his ear. Aarav's face hardens with resolve, his voice firm and unwavering. "No," Aarav declares, his eyes locking onto something unseen. A beat of silence follows, heavy with unspoken tension. "I'll do it today," he promises, the words hanging in the air like a vow. Aarav ambles along a sun-drenched path, his figure a silhouette against the vibrant greenery of the park. His eyes roam, capturing every detail of the world around him. Sunlight dapples through leaves, casting shifting shadows on the ground as he walks. He pauses, head tilted slightly, as if listening to the whispers of the wind. Aarav closes his eyes, a peaceful expression washing over his face as he embraces the moment. He seems to be absorbing the sights and sounds, lost in the beauty of the natural world. Aarav's office is filled with a quiet hum of focus as he navigates his tasks with practiced ease. With a final, decisive action, Aarav completes his work, a subtle air of satisfaction settling around him. The room holds its breath, reflecting the calm after the storm of productivity. Aarav pauses, a moment of quiet accomplishment etched on his face. Sunlight streams into the sterile hospital room, illuminating the quiet dance of dust motes. A machine beeps softly, a rhythmic pulse in the otherwise silent room. Aarav sits vigilantly by his father's bedside, his face etched with concern. His eyes soften with affection as he gently adjusts the blanket. He leans closer, his voice a tender murmur in the sterile air. "How are you feeling today, Dad?" Aarav asks, his words laced with hope. City lights streak across the walls of Aarav's apartment, painting the room in neon hues as he sits alone, lost in thought. His gaze is fixed on the cityscape, a thoughtful expression etched on his face as he reflects on lessons learned. The silence of the night amplifies his solitude, each city light a distant memory. Aarav remains motionless, the weight of his reflections palpable in the stillness of his apartment. Bathed in the vibrant hues of a bustling day, Aarav walks along the city street, his smile radiant. His eyes reflect a newfound peace. Embracing the present moment with every step, Aarav pauses, the city's rhythm fading as he savors the simple joy of existence. A gentle breeze whispers through the streets, carrying Aarav's smile into the heart of the city. Sunlight fills Aarav's office, highlighting the dust motes dancing in the air. Aarav leans back, his seasoned eyes reflecting years of experience. He gestures emphatically, making a point to his younger colleague. The colleague listens intently, nodding occasionally in understanding. The warm light and focused atmosphere create a sense of mentorship. Sunlight streams into the hospital room, illuminating dust motes dancing in the air. Aarav's father rests peacefully, his breathing steady, a subtle hint of color returning to his face. Monitors beep softly, charting a course of improvement, each blip a beacon of hope in the sterile environment. The room is filled with a quiet sense of relief as the shadow of fear begins to recede. In the quiet of night, Aarav sits under the warm glow of a desk lamp, his figure etched against the shadows. A worn leather journal lies open before him, its pages holding secrets and stories yet untold. His pen dances across the paper, each stroke a whisper in the dimly lit room. The scratching of the pen is the only sound, a symphony of introspection filling the air. Aarav's face is illuminated by the soft light, his expression thoughtful and serene. Lost in his thoughts, he continues to write, each word a step deeper into his inner world. Sunlight dapples Aarav's face as he sits cross-legged on a grassy knoll, eyes closed, hands resting gently. He inhales deeply, focusing on the sensation of air filling his lungs, a serene expression on his face. The gentle rustling of leaves and birdsong create a peaceful symphony around him. Lost in meditation, Aarav finds solace in the warmth of the sun and the sounds of nature. A profound sense of calm washes over him, a moment of perfect harmony with the world. Aarav's office is bathed in daylight as he sits at his desk, a picture of intense concentration. Documents fill his desk as Aarav meticulously reviews each page, searching for potential issues. His brow furrows slightly as he spots a discrepancy, his mind already racing to find a solution. Aarav leans back, a thoughtful expression on his face, visualizing the challenges ahead. With a determined glint in his eyes, he begins to outline a plan, his proactive nature shining through. The weight of responsibility rests on his shoulders, but Aarav remains undeterred, ready to tackle any problem. Sunlight floods the hospital room, dust motes swirling in golden rays, a silent testament to the passage of time. Aarav sits bedside, his gaze tender as he watches his frail father, a poignant tableau of love and concern. The father's smile, though faint, radiates warmth, cutting through the sterile atmosphere of the hospital room. A quiet moment of connection hangs in the air, a silent dialogue of shared memories and unspoken emotions. Their bond, tested by time and circumstance, shines brightly in the shared glance between father and son. In Aarav's dimly lit apartment, shadows dance as he sits in a worn armchair, a soft smile playing on his lips. The air hangs heavy with unspoken emotion, a silent acknowledgement filling the room. He nods gently, his eyes reflecting a deep sense of gratitude. "Thank you," Aarav says softly, his voice filled with genuine appreciation. The lamp's glow emphasizes the lines etched by time and experience on his face. A city street pulses with life, the sun painting long shadows between buildings as busy figures rush along the sidewalks. Amidst the urban hustle, Aarav, mid-30s, stands on a corner, anticipation lighting up his face. A wide, genuine smile breaks across Aarav's face as he spots two figures approaching through the crowd. The air crackles with unspoken joy as Aarav prepares to greet the approaching figures. A sense of warmth and camaraderie fills the bustling street as Aarav's friends draw near. Sunlight floods Aarav's office, highlighting the organized chaos on his desk. Aarav leans back, calm and efficient, reviewing a document with focused intent. His pen points to a specific section, marking a critical detail. Aarav's gaze sharpens, revealing his keen focus. Every detail is under Aarav's control. Aarav is the master of his domain. Sunlight floods the sterile hospital room as Aarav helps his father slowly rise from the bed. Dust motes dance in the sunbeams, illuminating the quiet, heavy relief. Aarav supports his father, a silent promise of care in his eyes. The father gathers his belongings, a poignant symbol of recovery and return. Inside Aarav's warmly lit apartment, a celebratory atmosphere fills the air. Aarav raises his glass high, a genuine smile brightening his features. Soft light casts a cozy glow, enhancing the intimate and joyful scene. The room is filled with a palpable sense of warmth and camaraderie. Every detail in the apartment seems to contribute to the feeling of celebration. Under a clear sky, Aarav enjoys the serene beauty of a sun-drenched park, a haven of peace amidst the city's hustle. Golden sunlight filters through the trees, casting dappled shadows that dance around Aarav. Birdsong fills the air, creating a tranquil symphony that complements the rustling leaves. A gentle breeze whispers through the park, carrying the scent of blooming flowers to Aarav. Lost in thought, Aarav finds solace and rejuvenation in the simple pleasures of nature. Sunlight floods Aarav's office, motes of dust swirling in golden rays. Aarav sits at his desk, the weight of stress visibly lifting. Relief washes over his face, a genuine smile forming. He absorbs the praise. A quiet satisfaction is evident. The bright office reflects a new dawn in his career. Aarav leans back, finally at peace with his accomplishments. The soft lamplight casts a warm glow on Aarav as he sits amidst scattered papers, a haven of focus in the night. A fresh notebook lies open before him, a blank canvas awaiting the surge of his determined thoughts. He inhales deeply, a moment of preparation before diving into the depths of his creative process. With newfound resolve etched on his face, Aarav begins to write, each word a step into uncharted territory. Under the vast sky of the city street, Aarav begins his community service, his movements purposeful and earnest. Aarav's dedication to making a difference shines as he picks up litter. He plants flowers in the park, hands working with care. Aarav paints over graffiti, transforming blight into art. He smiles, a sense of accomplishment washing over him. Aarav's actions speak of hope and a brighter future. Aarav's office buzzes with vibrant energy. Team members huddled around screens, their faces illuminated by displays of data and design. The air crackles with collaborative spirit as ideas bounce and blend, each voice contributing to the symphony of innovation. Aarav, at the center, a beacon of calm, listens intently, his eyes reflecting the potential in every suggestion. His guidance is gentle, yet firm, steering the team towards breakthroughs with a steady hand and encouraging word. The atmosphere is charged with a sense of shared purpose, a hive mind working in harmony to achieve a common goal. Dim light bathes Aarav's room, bookshelves filled with stories towering around him. Aarav sits on his bed, gazing pensively at the city lights. His face, a canvas of contemplation, hints at quiet satisfaction. Aarav breathes deeply, a silent release as the weight of the past year lifts. Sunlight filters through the trees, casting playful shadows across the park as Aarav observes children at play. Aarav's face softens with a gentle smile, a silent observer amidst the joyous chaos of the park. The air is filled with the carefree laughter of children, their energy palpable under the warm sun. Each laugh and cheer echoes in the tranquil park, painting a vivid picture of youthful exuberance. Aarav's eyes reflect a deep sense of peace and contentment as he drinks in the lively scene. Aarav's office is bathed in sunlight, highlighting the challenges he faces with unwavering confidence. Aarav smiles, his eyes reflecting a resolute spirit against the bright daylight. The streaming sunlight accentuates Aarav's determined gaze, signaling a readiness for any obstacle. His confident demeanor fills the room, a testament to his unyielding resolve. Soft music fills Aarav's apartment, fairy lights casting a warm glow on the walls. Aarav begins to carefully apply a soothing face mask, his movements gentle and precise. The creamy mask contrasts with the thoughtful expression on his face. He pauses, eyes closed, as if savoring the quiet moment. The soft light accentuates the peaceful atmosphere. Aarav's apartment becomes a sanctuary of calm and self-care. Aarav navigates the vibrant city street, his purposeful gaze sweeping across the energetic scene. Sunlight glints off skyscrapers as Aarav walks, each step measured, imbued with intention. The city's frenetic energy contrasts with Aarav's calm, focused demeanor. Aarav's determined stride reflects a man who embraces each day with clarity. The bustling city fades into background as Aarav moves through the crowd. In the quiet of his apartment, Aarav's face softens, a genuine smile of contentment slowly spreading across his features. He takes a deep, calming breath, as if exhaling years of unspoken burdens and silent regrets. A subtle shift occurs, the weight of the past visibly lifting from his shoulders, freeing him from its grip. Aarav closes his eyes, a wave of serenity washing over him as he embraces the present moment. In this simple act of presence, he finds a profound sense of peace, a quiet acceptance blooming within him.